Well, it's a struggle today in this heat in the shop, but I made it work. I'll just turn the phone around and show you what I got done. I got passenger side C-notch done. Had a mistake I made. Ended up cutting this 1/8 of an inch too narrow, so I had to put a filler strip back in here and weld it in. We have to touch these welds up. This is really low. But I was looking, took the hubs off. See the problem? Somebody apparently put these on with an impact to begin, stripped the threads clean off, and then I was looking inside. None of them are pressed in tight against the back of it. There you go. So there's not much, where is it? Hardly any shoe left, as you can see. So we have to pick up some brake shoes, change those out. Of course the front's better because they get less wear. Oops. And I suspect it is the axle seal that's leaking. So I think I'll pull this off, pull the axle shaft, and see if I can get a new seal. And I have a pattern that replaces the yeah. There's all kinds of goop in there. Yuck. Okay. That replaces this factory backing plate. And the one I make is 3/16 steel plate instead of 8. And I started making them when I was 4-wheeling. I'm building 9-inch rear ends for 4-wheeling. Man, there's a lot of crud back in there. Yeah, that tells me it is the axle seal, because the wheel cylinder's dry. So, alright. I gotta get a rag. I'm gonna turn this light off. So yeah, that side's done. Next is replace the shackles. Let me pause this while I clean my fingers. Okay. Let me come back here. So, what I got is I've got new shackle hangers with the mounting hardware and new flooring shackles. You can see if you line them up with the factory bolt, they're 2-inch. So by the time I replace them with the shackle hangers, these actually hang down lower than the factory ones. So it's gonna take up some of the height from here, center to center. So I'll probably end up running in this hole. But yeah, line them up. You can see how much longer it is. Excuse me. So yeah, by the time I put the new hangers on, this hole will be about here, down here. So this would be like so. So I'd end up using the top hole, which is fine. That way it keeps these below the bed floor, which is what I want. So I don't want to have to space or make a box in the bed floor for those. I opened up the shop early this morning, and it still ended up being 112 degrees in here because it was 100 outside. And I was checking my thermometer. And I drank 5 quarts of water today just to get through it. So I'm wore out. What else is there? Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut these U-bolts down so they're not sticking down so far. I gotta do the front axle U-bolts because they've already hit something and bent. I'm gonna try and straighten them before I cut them. Go from there. I gotta clean all this grime off the frame. I'm gonna do that with a wire wheel all the way up to the cab, and then I've got to get some more tractor paint and paint it. Go from there. Then I'll be done with the back of the frame. I'll get back on the bed. I already sprayed the inside of the roll pan with the rust conversion paint and stuff, because it was pretty rusty in there. So I got that done today too. I left where I'm going to French the taillights. I left that area clear so I'm not wasting paint and burning it off. But yeah, feels good to be getting a lot of this done and accomplished, but this side really fought me. Kicked my butt. And cleaned up the garage, but now I got to do it again from grinding that down. Oh, and while I got the wheels off, I'll clean them, sand them up, and get them ready for paint to match the front. So, I don't know where my next step is. I guess my next step's going to be these shackles. Do that job. A friend of mine on TikTok, she wants to see how it's done. So, I'll video it, make sure that she sees it. But yeah, here's one reason why I had to get new shackle extensions. Or shackle hangers. Look at the difference in width from the factory shackle hanger to the shackle, the new shackle. So, and these fit in there. Actually, there's actually a little bit of space inside that, you can see. So, I don't know. It's always something when you deal with aftermarket parts. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get these bolts broke loose before I call it a night and stuff. So I'm gonna leave it at this. Spend the evening seeing if I can get some brake shoes and an axle seal for this side. You can see how wet it is. So, while I got the axle out, I'll try and drive those lug bolts in the rest of the way, and then cut off where they stripped. There's 1/4 inch spacing plates on these. too. Just like the front. Well, the front didn't have any. I had to buy some for that. If I'd have known they were on the back, I'd have taken them off and put them on the front. But I didn't know. So, alright. I'm going to call it a day. Try and get these done before I go in. And I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah. And go from there. See if I can get tomorrow, get the leaf spring hangers switched out. And the new shackle in. And go from there with it. Still got to order my fuel line. Get that hooked up. Just going to order a 16-foot roll. And an electric fuel pump for it. So, alright, I'm jabbering, so y'all have a good night. Take care, stay safe, and be blessed, okay? Be back tomorrow.